Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well this evening. My name is Nick Rhodes, and I'm an analyst at Plexus Capital, a small private equity firm located here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is a pleasure to be a part of the local Research Triangle networking organization and to present to you all this evening. I'm excited to present to you Salesforce, a customer relationship management tool that was created by some old Oracle executives in the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 90s. Salesforce is an online, web-based cloud computing software that helps both small and large companies keep track of their customers, as well as enhancing the building of strong relationships in the process. As of 2015, Salesforce is one of the most highly valued cloud computing pieces of technology on the market and has market capitalization of over $50 billion. It brings me great pleasure to promote Salesforce here today and convey why it empowers so many businesses across the United States. Moving forward in our presentation, here's an outline of what we'll be talking about. Basically, what is Salesforce, and where did we come from, and what did life look like before CRMs? What's the home page and layout look like when you're using the device on the computer? Who might use Salesforce? Does it benefit a multitude of individuals and corporations across the United States? What are some of Salesforce's business capabilities, and is it efficient? And we're also going to touch on some Salesforce success stories on those who have had great successes with using Salesforce in the past. If you analyze the two images below, a large, clunky wooden filing cabinet with hundreds of papers and folders containing information about all their clients and their customers, or an office wall or desk filled with hundreds of yellow sticky notes containing customer information with messy handwriting scattered about in an unorganized fashion. This is what life was like before CRMs or before a Salesforce database. No information was stored digitally in a centralized and organized manner. Moving right along in our timeline of how CRM devices have developed, it only makes sense to talk about the bulk of the matter. Salesforce. What is it? And how does it work? To be put simply, Salesforce is an online tool that saves your firm's customer database. It's extremely user-friendly and is extremely easy to manage. Like most businesses, continued success relies on a foundation of strong relationships among your customers or clients. And as companies grow and become more profitable, often that customer base becomes larger, and managing those individuals or families becomes slightly more complicated. Here's where Salesforce does its work, and does its magic, you could say. It serves as a place for a company to store its contacts, family names, names of individuals, acquaintances that you might meet in the corporate world, new customers, or old customers that you currently do business with, or even potential customers that you have on your eye and want to do business with and need to pursue further. Salesforce can store these names and resources all in one centralized and easy-to-use database. Also, not only can you store contact names in Salesforce, but you can also store interactions you might have with these customers within the database. Every time one of your employees meets with an individual, whether it be dinner, coffee, or just a plain old meeting, you can record that interaction under their name in Salesforce. And that way, when you move along in your business and life takes its toll and you move on, you will never forget the interaction you've had with that customer. And every time you meet with that customer in the future, you'll always be able to treat them on a personal and friendly basis because you'll have all your interactions and past encounters with them stored in this database. I know many of you have been wondering, what does Salesforce look like and how is it laid out here? Here's an image of the Salesforce home screen. As you can see, a pretty basic tool with not that many options. This might lead to a more user-friendly and basic or more simplified experience for our users. As you can see, there's option ribbons that go across horizontally the screen, starting with the home screen. It talks about accounts or contacts or opportunities. Those might be the most accessible or highly used options within Salesforce, as well as forecasts. Within forecasts, you can run queries and really access and filter the databases that you have stored in your Salesforce documents. So this is how Salesforce is organized, and we're going to go into more detail in another presentation later this week. When implementing a new business tool within your firm, two key questions usually come to mind. The first, is the tool simple and easy to use? Will my fellow employees find that it is user-friendly and that it benefits and that they don't have to take too much training to learn how to use the software? And the second is that does it benefit a lot of people? And that leads to the question, who might use Salesforce? What kind of businesses would want to use a Salesforce database and why would they want it? And to answer that simple question, I would just say virtually anybody can use Salesforce. Really, any business in any industry would find a use for Salesforce because most businesses rely on relationships with their customers or their clients, and that really is what drives your business in the first place. If we're talking about the 4 quadrants of sectors or industries that use Salesforce, I mapped them here on the screen for you. The first, banking and investment companies would use Salesforce. Moving right along to entertainment and retail industries, as well as healthcare and nonprofit organizations like the American Red Cross or the Charlotte Carolinas Health Hospital, as well as state and local governments. The San Francisco local government actually uses a Salesforce database to keep track of their employees and all of those that the government comes in contact with. Salesforce was created in San Francisco, and the state and local government have benefited from their use in the past. If we're going back to the banking and investment companies, if you think about a private equity firm, for example, a small firm that I work for, that its success essentially relies on its relationships and how many deals can it get done using mezzanine and subordinated debt. And in order to keep track of these deals and the clients and the people we come in contact with, we're going to need to keep track of them online in some organized manner. Private equity firms and investors go to conferences like this and meetings all across the country many times, during the week, and we meet a lot of people that we might not remember the next day after we're gone. Salesforce is a great way to really remember your clients, your customers that you currently do business with, as well as customers you want to do business with in the future. Every time I present about Salesforce or even talk about it to my coworkers, I always found it extremely enjoyable to talk about its success stories. Where has Salesforce been successful in the past, and what companies have really benefited from using the software? If we're looking on the screen here, large companies in the United States like Wells Fargo Bank, Delta Airlines, or Coca-Cola Industries all have had successful experiences while using Salesforce. If we move to Wells Fargo, one of the big 4 banks in the United States, as well as just one of the biggest organizations in the United States, they use Salesforce on a regular basis. We're a relationship bank, says Steve Ellis, the visionary head of Wells Fargo Wholesale Services Group. He also notes that many of our customers use multiple banks, so our goal is to lead in every market we can. Wells Fargo's wholesale banking has nearly 300 distinct products and services, and many of their business customers use a number of these products. That means customers are working with different people in the bank, and to provide a seamless customer experience, Wells Fargo needed to make sure that people are connected to each other all across the regions and all across different lines of business within the organization. Steve Ellis, the same head of wholesale banking services, also notes that it's not easy to find the person who knows what you're looking for or what you need when you need help. He said it used to be that you could just call someone on the phone and you could make that happen. Now you just can't because the bank is so big and there's so many people here. He notes that the cloud is a way to help people connect around customers and to connect around different buildings and all across the U.S. Wells Fargo is a multinational company that operates at its headquarters in San Francisco, but also on its eastern headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Salesforce database really allows them to be successful in their relationships with their customers and execute their vision. They're a relationship bank, and Salesforce really allows them to maintain positive and close-knit relationships with their customers. The same experiences have happened with Delta Airlines and Coca-Cola, 2 very large customer-based companies that have used Salesforce to really have that close-knit experience with their customers. I wanted to conclude the presentation this evening by talking about Salesforce's business capabilities and why is Salesforce a good investment for each of your businesses back home. And to keep that simple and short, I would say Salesforce promotes stronger relationships and it will make your company more efficient and more productive. Really, every company, especially all of yours sitting in this room today as business leaders, your company relies on strong relationships. And the stronger and more personal your relationships are with your clients or customers, the better your business will be now and in the future. Salesforce will do that for you. It will really rely on strong relationships and help you promote those relationships. When you meet a new customer or you're working with a customer that you've worked with in the past, it will help you stay closely connected with that individual or that family or that network group, and it will help you do business and better business with them in the future. And like I said before, it will make your company more efficient. You won't be bogged down by all the administrative and due diligence tasks that are often associated with your business. All these tasks will be taken care of easily with Salesforce, and having strong relationships will be seamless. And being more efficient and more productive in your business will seem easy. All the hard work and all the organization tasks will be taken care of with Salesforce essentially, and you will be out there in the field working with your customers and having a more efficient and more productive business. Salesforce is a great great investment for all of your businesses, because I know all of your businesses rely on people and relationships. Salesforce promotes relationships, and it promotes efficiency and productivity within any business in any industry. I want to thank everyone again very much for allowing me to present tonight at this networking event. I love presenting about Salesforce, and I've had great success with the product as well in my private equity firm, Plexus Capital. I'll be sticking around to answer any questions you might have, and thank you again, you all, for coming and joining me in this presentation this evening. Thank you very much.